Hello, today we're going to do another update on the Redsea Reefer 250. I'm going to show you how the corals are responding to increased light and amino acid dosing. Hello and welcome back everyone to Amra Azul TV. It's just the beginning of September and I thought I would do another update on my Redsea Reefer 250. Things have been going really well over the past month, just kind of slow and steady. I've been slowly ramping up my Radion XR15s and they're now running at 80%, which is a level that I had determined would give me about 300 par on most of my SBS frags. The corals are responding really well, and you'll see later when we do the top down that there's been some very obvious signs of growth and some notable changes in coloration in a good way for some of the corals. Essentially, I'm starting to see some of the colors that I kind of expected to see from some of the frags. In terms of parameters, things have been a little bit fluctuating on the alk front. August is typically a month where my family goes away on vacation, and whenever I go on vacation like clockwork, the pH kind of increases, alkalinity demands increase as a result of higher calcification, and that just leads to a little bit of changes in the kind of typical alkalinity levels that I keep in the tank. So typically I like to keep the tank around 8.5, but they kind of went as low as 7.9 during the past month, and as high as 9, just because again, whenever we leave, it just changes the amount of carbon dioxide in our house, and that affects the pH of the water, and that in turn affects calcification rate, which in turn affects alkalinity. But things so far haven't, like all of these changes happen kind of gradually over the course of a couple of days, and the tank is back to 8.5 now. Calcium is around 45 parts per million, and magnesium is about 1500. Nitrates, I'm still dosing potassium nitrate. They're on the low end. They're about actually 1 or 2 ppms. I like to keep them around 5. For some reason, the nitrate consumption of my tank has been really increasing, so I can't seem to kind of keep them at around 5 ppm despite the daily potassium nitrate dosing. I'm still doing amino acid dosing. I'm doing the what was the product, the Rockwell I think product, and I dose it 3 times a week, and I dose about 1 ml each. I kind of debated about whether I should try to do daily dosing or maybe increase the dose. Things so far are kind of like doing well, so I'm not minding too much. I might consider upping up the dose as the corals get a little bit larger. Here you see my my leopard wrasses are always, well, I have one leopard wrasse and a yellow-tailed tamarin wrasse, and both of them like to whip up the sand every now and then. And you could see Kenny is still alive, fat and happy as ever, despite his constant death wish by running into the MP10s whenever I turned the power off. Here he is again. So one change, I did move my clam. You see it, the clam is right on, it's on the left side of the tank. Before it used to be in the right side, but it's where the wrasses like to sleep, and I always found that there was a lot of sand, and actually somebody noted that on a video and mentioned in a comment that I should probably like move the clam because or else it's just gonna get a lot of sand trapped in. And so I did move it, and so far it's been a really positive move. I mean, it always looked happy even with the sand, but now it just looks a little bit extra happy, and I'm not seeing a lot of buildup of sand on clam. All right, time for the top-down tour. So here's the clam in its new position. You know, if you have a better way to actually mount the clam, it's supposed to be on a rock, and right now it's sitting on a little like frag disc, not disc, but a frag tile. If you could think of a better way to actually mount this and kind of keep it upright, do let me know. This is the Little Red Ferrari, Hawkins Ishinada. Everything is going really well. The colors are about the same with the exception of a couple of corals. You see in the middle here, orange passion. It is growing. It's still a tiny little frag, but I am seeing new branches, tiny little new branches. So yay, let's go orange passion, the passion of orange. And here is the Reef Raft pot of gold, which is still looking pretty green. So I'm not seeing the kind of yellowish colors that this colony is supposed to have. So perhaps it will benefit from more light. This is I used to call it forest fire digitata, but somebody corrected me and it's like a bubble gum digitata. This thing has just been like a monster in terms of growth. This is what it looked like last month. And I think I'm going to have to keep on top of fragging this or else it's going to take over. The Reef Raft Applejack on the left here is doing really well. No big changes in color, but it's definitely growing. So I did move the Slimer on the top corner here. It was on the sand bed. In its place was a strawberry shortcake that wasn't doing too well. So I actually kind of swapped position. So the Slimer was up. Ape from Coral Euphoria mentioned that the strawberry shortcake may benefit from lower par, so I did move it there, and I'll show you in a little bit what it's looking like. And blueberry wine is growing really well. All right, and here is the middle boulder, the Jason Fox Jolt. You know, I'm seeing the blues, but I'm not seeing the reds that this coral is supposed to have. So if you have the Jolt in your tank and you're seeing reds, do let me know what kind of light you're running at. This is the golden jaw dropper. It is supposed to be yellow, and I'm noticing a little bit more yellow. Hopefully that's yellow and not brown. I think it looks yellow. I think this is what it's supposed to look like. But again, if you have this, do let me know. PC Rainbow, this is a colony that is getting more red than it's supposed to be red, and just with the increase in par, I think I'm starting to see more of the red that it's supposed to have. So I'm really happy about this. The California Tort is looking blue, growing really well and encrusting, as you see here. Marvin the Martian, lots of new branches. It's definitely encrusting, although it's staying very bushy. I wonder whether that's because it's kind of getting a lot of flow in that spot. And here's a new frag. This is Aqua Delight. Remember, this was the black hole of Acropora death, and following your advice, I did remove the torch that was below this coral that I think was stinging a lot of the frags that I put there, and so far so good. Here's the strawberry shortcake. This spot is getting about 200 par. It's still not looking great, but it's not browning out as it used to. I'm not seeing the red tips yet, but at least I'm seeing some of the green, so that's good. Then moving to the right boulder, here is the Major Laser. Fantastic little frag, lovely frag. The Jason Fox, I think the colors are really improving, so perhaps the increase in par is also helping. You're starting to see like deeper pinks and purples and nice neon green tips. My TNT and Acropora, this was a much larger colony. I actually accidentally broke this colony in half while I was fragging it. I tried to remove one frag and I ended up breaking the whole colony. So I have a couple of frags there that actually are going to be picked up by a local reefer fairly soon. So yeah, the TNT and Acropora kind of like you breathe on it and it shatters. So just something to keep a note of. This is the Pink Lemonade, still a tiny little frag, but it's like looking really great. It's true to its colors. I'm seeing the kind of the lemonade, and I'm seeing the pink. So it's always good when you have a coral that is kind of true to what it looks like and not like falsely advertised. The Purple Bonsai, yeah, maybe not like getting as much light as it needs to right on the edge, but it's still doing well. The Electric Miyagi Tort is really growing. I have to kind of keep on top of this because it does have a tendency to kind of take over. Then on top we have the Rainbow Loom, again lots of new branches, and in the corner is the Pink Cadillac. Not looking too great, but you know, I don't want to move it to the middle where I know it will grow really fast and kind of take over things. So you know, I've seen what a full-size Pink Cadillac colony looks like, and it's monstrous, and I don't really want to have one colony kind of dominate. So that's it. There is going to be a few more videos, including some really cool bit of equipment that I just picked up today, actually. So I'll keep the suspense a little bit, but stay tuned for some. I would say like a major upgrade to the tank. I mean, I'm not upgrading the tank, but I'm upgrading a major kind of equipment system. Here's Stella. Always follow me around whenever I'm doing stuff in the tank. She hasn't like tried to jump in the tank yet, but she does like kind of claw at the fish. She loves Lululemon, the yellow tank. I think she wants to eat him. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next video. Have a good one.